So in this part, we're going to start tying things together, and we're going to utilize our token in Axios so that we can send up our token for all of our requests basically. So let's head to our agent.ts file. And we used an interceptor before to do something with our response, but we can also use an interceptor to do something with our request. And that's what we're going to look at now. And what we can do inside here, we can say axios.interceptors.request.use, and we can pass in some config, and this is going to be of type Axios request config. And TypeScript is smart enough to figure out what type this is, so we don't need to specify it in here. And what we can do inside here is we can say const token, because we want to get access to our token so that we can send it up with our request. And we can set this equal to window.localstorage.getItem, and we'll get the item with the key of JWT. And we want to specify if there is a token, then we're going to set the config.headers.authorization equal to bearer $, and then there's curly brackets, and we'll pass in the token. And then we can return config. And if there's an error inside here, what we can do on the onRejected part of this is specify error, and we can return a promise.reject and pass in the error. So this means that for every single request that we make, we're going to check to see if we've got a token. And if we have a token, it's going to attach this to our headers, our authorization header, and it's going to pass this as our bearer and token, just as we've been doing in Postman. So if I go back, and I'll need to first of all go back to the home page and then click on login. And once again, I'll log in as Bob at test.com. and password, and log in, and what we get now is our activities, and that's because we've got our JWT stored inside local storage. And if we take a look at the network tab and take a look at the request for activities, what we'll find is that we're now sending up our authorization header along with our request, and that's why we're getting our activities back. Unfortunately, if I refresh my browser, I still get my activities, but my user has disappeared. So our JWT token survives inside our local storage after a browse refresh, but our user object doesn't. So what we'll take a look at next is how we can initialize our app, check to make sure we've got a token. If we have, go and get our currently logged in user and populate that user object so that we can display it on our navbar. And we'll take a look at how we can initialize our app next.